And as normal, okay. So I'm Fisherman. This is the Fisherman's Blues. This is talk about Ipswich Town. At the moment, I'm been demoted to the bedroom, so it is what it is. So anyway, not a lot to talk about tonight, other than the win against Hull, which was good. If you like, please like and subscribe to the channel, just to be talking about my favourite club and going from there. Reality. So let's just talk about the game. So obviously we go to Hull, and look. I did fancy our chances. However, what I didn't expect was the absolute dross of that first half. I don't know what it is about Town at the moment. We're just very, very much stuck in first gear. That's what it feels like. It feels like we're stuck in first gear. Don't think it's helped with the amount of changes that we keep doing. I'm convinced McKenna doesn't know his 11. Hey, my one and only watcher at the moment. Thanks, Luke. Appreciate you coming on, bud. But yeah, so I'm not sure McKenna actually knows his best 11. I really don't. It's very difficult to watch a team struggle like that in the first half, and it begs a question that what not only were we bad, but Hull were bad as well. And I think the thing is, I found staggering was that Hull were above us, and I'm like, how the hell are they above us? And the thing is, like I say, we get into the half time and we're like, oh God alive, that was a hard watch. In fact, it was so bad. My son, bless him, he fell asleep. Literally fell asleep. He told me, and then woke up and we'd won 2-0. So there we are. So that goes to show how bad the first half was. And then obviously we had the second half. Caduce went off, and I thought he was terrible in that first half. As poor as he's just a luxury player. Don't rate him. Really don't see what he offers. Doesn't create. Doesn't offer any assists. Doesn't defend particularly well. Taylor comes on, and we looked a lot better. Nunes in the 10, which is where he should be playing. Again, McAtee, another player. I just cannot see what he offers. He's just a Caden Jackson Mark II. And then obviously Clark didn't really get into the game. I felt that Clark did in game, and then we did some changes. Obviously Akpom came on, Philogene came on, and Agelli came on. And I like the fact that McKenna played Akpom in the 9. I really did, because obviously he got his goal. And then obviously Jaden, before that Nunes scored. Jaden cuts in on his right, loops a ball. And literally the smallest player on the pitch heads it in the back of the net. And you think, from a Hull's point of view, you think, where the hell was the defending for that? But the reality is that goes in the back of net, 1-0 up. As a Town fan, you're happy that we're winning. Not very happy about the performance. Happy that we're winning. And then obviously Johnny on the spot, Akpom in the box, boom. He gets a goal, and long overdue. I don't like seeing Akpom in the 10. I don't think he offers anything as a 10. He really doesn't. He just doesn't get into the game. I'd rather him be up front, play that number 9 role. There's there's been a bit of talk about Agelli coming in and playing in that 10 role. I think maybe when Burns is fit, possibly. But it's the performances that I'm struggling with, because they're just it's like we've got no other gears. We just play in first gear all the time. And I think to myself, and this is where I'm at with the way the team is being played and all these changes and stuff. And I think if we got stuck in first gear and we carry on for the rest of the season, yes, we might get promoted. But I think if we can get out of first gear and play to the potential of the team, we should really be where Coventry is. We on paper, right? On paper, we probably have one of the best squads in this league, right? I would argue that 90% of the squad is better than the squad that went up, man for man. The problem is we don't have that team ethos that we did when we got promoted to the Premier League. There was something about that team that got promoted that was special. They, and it's gone, it's past and everything, but to go forward, you've got we've got to try and get some of that back because it does help. And I think you know, that that team that got promoted to the Premier League, out of League One in the Premier League, that's a special side for me. I rate that higher than. All right, Ollie, thank you very much. Subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, so I think if we can get out of first gear, we are really going to start. Hey, hello, mate. Hello, yeah. Planet Pong says I'm an Ipswich fan. Well done, thank you, mate. That's what we like to see. More Ipswich Town fans. But like I said, if we can get out of second gear, if we can get out of first gear and get into second gear, into third gear, we'll really start putting teams to the sword. Our home form is a bit of a worry. We're going. We we can't seem to beat these teams that come to Portman Road very well at all. And I think the problem is we don't know how to beat this. Let's put it out there, low block or the defence. And I've said it, like I said, every game, every time I've done a chat. 3 ways of beating a team: go through them, round them, or over them. And I think we should start going round teams. You know, make us much wider, ping the balls in, get crosses in, and see where we end up. And that to me is where I think we can really start picking up points at home. But we're right now. Well, actually, when I did this, we were fourth, but we're fifth. But we're right in the mix, and we ain't playing particularly well. And it says to me that at some point we are gonna get a run together and start absolutely putting teams to bed. Hello there, DD. How you doing, bud? Yeah, I'm good. Thanks very much, mate. Very well, thank you. I can't pronounce that one. So, yeah, the Sukana said hi. Hello, how you doing? Look, I think it's lovely that we got the points away at Hull. It's not an easy place to go, but that first half was a hard watch. Second half, we really did. We made changes which made a help. And like I said, the smallest player on the pitch to head the ball and back in there. As a Hull fan, I'd have been fuming. If I'd have been Ipswich, I'd have been fuming. But let's be fair. So right now we're sitting fifth. We've got a game in hand, so we could technically go second, depending on our. So I was just reading something in the comments. Kieran won't change. Kieran McKenna won't change now. No, I'm not. It's not the case. I want him to change. It's just I want him to stick with a more settled side. I don't think it's helped us, especially at home. I don't think it's helped us. Away form, you can't argue with away form. And I said last podcast, I think it could well be that we will have a better away form than we are home form. But who knows? But I shan't waffle on too much tonight because there weren't really a lot to talk about the game. For me, I'll tell you what, I want to give a big shout out to Greaves, Jacob Greaves. I thought he was outstanding. Very good in defence, man of the match from me. And then Matasiwa, another good player. Although there was times where I felt that the ball was a bit, he had a bit of rubber boots. He's battling and his work rate around that centre midfield was unbelievable. Planet Pong says Ipswich, they are not playing well at the minute. They need to keep keep passing to people in space. Yeah, I think. Look, like I said, I think sometimes against teams that defend, we do struggle, and I think it's time that we, sort of change the tactics a little bit. Um, like I said, you can go round teams and over teams, which is okay. But to keep playing possession based football against a team that's defending and not put crosses in the box when you've got players in the box that can head the ball, I think it's important that we do that. Uh, you know, um, but who knows? Look, we got Oxford tomorrow night. Um, Look, I think we get 3 points. I genuinely do. I just want a better performance. I just want to see a performance. That has me off my seat. Uh, Need another four players in January for me, including a striker. Look, I'll be honest with you. I'll take another defensive midfielder if we could get one. I would take a number 9. Absolutely agree, and probably a number 10. To be fair, I don't think defensively we need it. Mark Dawes says Clark can score a hat trick, knowing he will not start next game. Can't be good for players. No, I agree. Too many too many players keep getting dropped after good performances, and I just don't think that's helping. You know, need to stop taking shots from wherever they want. They won't score from the halfway line, so need to pass and cross. Actually, agree. We've got to start putting the balls down the byline. I mean, what has happened to the days where you run down the byline and whip a cross in? Doesn't happen a lot these days, and it was like, oh, it ain't fashionable. Then you had the same thing about long throw. Suddenly, everybody was talking about long throw. Everybody wanted, oh, it's not fashionable. But then, do you know what I mean? It's like suddenly that's become fashionable, and I think the modern football has become a little bit fashionable. We all know that. Every team tries to play the same way, and I just Miss Martin Bell says we're not as good as McKenna keeps saying we are. We are. We're not. I totally agree. I don't think we are very, very good at the moment, but we're getting results, and I think that is good teams often don't good don't play well. When they don't play well, often get good results, and I think that's where we are at the moment. I think we're not playing well. Many fans I speak to are saying the same thing. We're not playing very, very well. We're not playing good football at times. It feels like sometimes we can't pass wins, shall we say. It is, I just feel that I think it's just a case of, we, that word gel, I don't like that word gel. I don't think the team is bonded enough at the moment. I would say I don't think there's enough bond in that team. I think it's coming. There's sections of it that I think, yeah, there's little pockets of what I call camaraderie and stuff, and I think we will know where we are come Christmas. We've got some tough games coming up. We've got Stoke, we've got Coventry twice, and I think it's going to be it's going to be interesting to see them. I mean, look, I've tipped Coventry to win the league. Yeah, they're going to have a little bit of a blip in their form. They probably will. Didi, yeah, Burns could be a new signing too if you get my absolutely. I absolutely think that Burns is a player that we've missed. I genuinely do. Some of his positional play and his pace. And bear in mind, he's nearly 30. I think. I don't want to say that. I hope his mum's not watching me. Sorry, Melanie. But yeah, I think if we can if we can get into a position where we're in the top four come Christmas Day, I think that's been a good first half of the season. Perhaps sometimes I'm a little bit more demanding than a lot of fans, and I think I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I do get a bit frustrated when I see when I'm watching the game and it's absolutely dire. I hate dire football. I want exciting football. I want exciting stuff. And I think, like I said, I think the reason why we're doing so well away from home is because teams open up against us. At home, I think it's a case of we don't know how to break down teams. And I just think it's time that we went over them and round them rather than try to play through them. And there's my good mate, Suffolk Crunch. Evening, Crunchy. How you doing, my man? Good lad. If you're not subscribed to him, please do. The Suffolk Crunch on YouTube. Very knowledgeable. A very knowledgeable fan and a dedicated town fan. Goes home and away with his two boys, and he's a credit to the club. And I class him as a good friend, even though we do wind each other up. But hello there, Petra. Hi, how you doing? I bet Coventry don't win the league. Cool. It's a big shout. You know they got plus 30 goal difference, don't you? That's a tough. That's a tough to 10 points clear. I can't see any team touching them at the moment. I think they're just that good. I've watched some highlights and some of their play is just unbelievable. They're quick, they're pacey, they're passing the ball crisp. Their confidence is really high. Lampard, as much as I don't like the boy, he's doing a wonderful job there, but you've got to give him a bit of credit. So, I felt that if Borough had kept Rob Edwards I think they'd have been up there as well because I think they were flying as well. But I think we're looking probably second at the moment. If we can aim for that spot, that'd be good. I think the telltale is when we come up against the teams like Stoke, who are currently second, and we've got Coventry twice, so we'll have to see. But yeah, I know. Yeah, there's a lot of spammers on here tonight, bud. I'll have to just, I'll have to see how we get on. Yeah, Coventry seem to play with so much confidence. They don't look like losing. I was watching a Borough podcast and they were saying how good Coventry were. It's, it is one of them things, there's always one team that tend to run away with it a bit, Leicester did that season, nearly fluffed it at the end, but, so we just got to take the positives. We win at Hull, we go to Oxford and we get a win there and see who knows what happens. And we got Blackburn up next, I think, haven't we, after that? I think we got after Oxford, so... and then, so who knows? But look, while it wasn't a great performance against Hull, it was a win. And that's the thing we've got to take from it. And I think at some point, we are going to put a performance in and we are going to give our team a bit of a spanking. It'd be nice if I could do it at home because I'd like to see the fan base have a bit of have something to cheer about because that Wrexham game was terrible. But there we are. Listen, guys, I'm going to leave it short because there's not really much else to say other than, I will be back after the Oxford game. It'll probably be Saturday night. But thank you for joining me. And I appreciate the new subscribers. And honestly, it genuinely means a lot. Like I said. So anyway, from me, I'm done. Here's to Oxford. And 3 points.